Iron Stories, Episode 14, Symbols. Welcome back to another episode of Iron Stories. Last where we have left off, Jebran and Katania did arrive at the Underkeep of Spectres, they found that this was it is a walled-in area of about 100 meters or so, and they entered it, or they did go over the wall at a breach, so they could get into this underkeep, and the keeps itself is built partially into the nearby hill. And when we left off, they were now inside this keep, and they see like 5 buildings, like 2. There's a road in the road that goes from the entrance to a bigger building that is partially or halfway or quarter way into the hill, and there's 2 buildings on each side of the road as well. So there's 5 buildings in total. And they went here on a quest to find, 2 things. So one thing is that the nearby village thought that is that there is some sort of like uncanny things here, so they think it's haunted or something, and we should check it out. And also we found out, because it took us a bit longer to get here because there were some bandits on the way, that there are some kids are missing from the village, that they may have gone to the same place to, I don't know, maybe play, or they're just on a dare, maybe something like that. So the kids went out, they're now missing, and we're here, and we should now look if we could find them, and maybe also like get rid of it. Not all villagers are convinced that there's like something spooky going on. It's probably more in the reason of, well, there's probably some wild animals or something like that. So it would be good to just get rid of them. But it's not something like this spooky going on. It's just let's just get rid of whatever is there, just to keep the village safe in total. So I would say, I thought about it. So I think this for our quest for a while, this is at least some progress we made here. So we did go to this underkeep. We reached into the underkeep here, so we can now explore it. But it's not but we still haven't found any of the children. We didn't find any of the these spooky things here yet, if there are any. And Jebran, as he was talking about, so they should get their bearings, and that's why they got more or less how everything looks like. as I said, there's these 4 buildings, 2 on each side of the road, and the one big building at the end. And Jebran was just having a look around just to get at the overall thing here, to not get ambushed or something like that, so they would know where to go in the night to if they want to rest some bit. So having said that, having explored a bit these ruins, they now start to investigate, to search for clues, to search for signs of the missing children, and also maybe any threat that may be going on here. So for me, that means basically they're just not delving the depths a bit more. So let's see. Yeah, I think they still go about it in a more thought about fashion, and I would say Jebran maybe lets Katania have lead the way. So in a sense of like, yeah, you have to learn as well. So lead the way. I will keep watch. So show me what you have learned so far. It's maybe like in this teacher student kind of way that he now lets her lead the way. I think it's about midday now that they do here now this investigation of the site. So he seems fairly comfortable doing that. If it would have been maybe a little bit more in the evening, he would have maybe not done that. But since it's midday, he has a more or less clear sense of the environment. He lets her go. So she should show him what she has learned so far. So Katania goes ahead and delves the depth, and she tries to from the main road, and I would say they go near one of the buildings that on one of these 4 buildings that are on the road, and she tries to find tracks maybe of wild animals, because it's what the villagers said, that there might be some wild animals here, and also maybe some tokens, or maybe clothes, or just a bit of fabric that they would how she would know maybe that there's one of the childs or of the kids is here around. So she goes ahead on that. There's a weak hit here. I could burn momentum for a strong hit, but I don't think this makes sense. So I just go on. I would just say it's a weak hit. It doesn't make sense to just change that into a strong hit. 72. Choose one, mark progress or find an opportunity. Yeah, I would say. So she goes ahead. Goes into the one of the first of the buildings, and she has a look around, and there is nothing out of the ordinary here. So the building has long since I mean, it's not entirely, let's say, well, it has probably mostly mostly corroded or succumb to the elements over these years. It seems to be that these ruins seems to be quite old. So there is these buildings, these 4 buildings. They seem to be in similar shape and size and form. So there's like, they're mostly made up of stone. There seems to be that there was maybe some time ago like a wooden roof there, but it has all the rain, etc., has made it brittle to some sort, rotten in a kind of sense. So there's like big holes of it in it, or most of the roof has collapsed into the building itself, and it seems maybe that this building was some sort of so there she finds some remnants of beds in here. So this might have been some sort of like quarters or something like that for this thing. So the building has, or the roof has collapsed into it, and there's just the so most of the roof, the wooden planks that were made up, or the roof was made up, has crashed into the building, and there's just like one bed next to each other. There's maybe like a wooden chest that also has rotten away, and there's mostly just not even the frame is there. There's maybe like some moss and vines that have engulfed most of these chests. So there seems to have been some sort of like quarters, bed chambers here, for whatever they did here in this hill, or in this Underkeep. So makes sense that they have somewhere some sort of like quarters where workers or maybe soldiers, like the ones that keep watch onto the whole building, have hunkered down during this thing. And as I said, it's mostly been crashed into it. There's maybe also the building itself is made out of stone, and she can go into there's like a window there, the wooden window blinds. They also have like they're on some hinges, but they have they're maybe made of metal, but they have been also corroded away just from the weather, and because it was not tended to for so long, they have been rusted away. So they're like hanging just on one hinge, or they're like broken off, and it's on the floor itself. So you can look into it. The door itself as well has broken away, and she has to push a bit harder to dislodge, because the door may have over the years wedged itself into the door frame. So she has to push it open properly to get into there, and then she searches along to find maybe some sort of any sign of things, but she couldn't find any. There's like grass all over the floor. So again, nature has taken over. It wasn't tended to for so long. There's like she could see that there's like big chunks of the wall that are just missing. That there's big chunks of a hole in there. So where also maybe rain has gotten into the building. So that's why there's like moss in there and there's grass in there. So there's so it has some sort of so it had some sort of water in here, so that's why nature itself could claim it again. So all she could see that is mostly completely empty, but because these beds, but there's probably just the frames here. Maybe some of the frames are, maybe also some parts of it are also made out of stone, and the rest was maybe made of wood that has collapsed in itself. Of course, any sign of mattress, so to speak, there isn't any remnants of that. It's just basically the bed frames that you could see, and this chest in front of the beds where they could keep their belongings when they go to rest. And she tries to open one or the other chest, and there's some lock on it, but the lock just crumbles away, or she can just rip it off because the wood itself isn't that stable anymore, and she could rip it off and try to open the thing, and it's mostly rotten in there. There's maybe, again, grass or something like that. There's maybe an odd critter that has maybe some mice or something like that has eaten through the wood, made a home into there, and just get greeted more or less like some of these critters, and they just scurry away as soon as she opens the thing. And so yeah, there's nothing really interesting in these things that goes on, and she's a bit disappointed on one hand to not find anything, but maybe also a bit relieved that she didn't find like any dead bodies of the children or something. Well, I say that now, but there might be a chance that there are. Jebran, maybe on the other hand, is a bit more pissed that there is nothing going on. It's just meh. It just snarls at this empty room. I would have liked to be maybe a bit more excited, so to speak, to find something to get home as quick as possible, or get back as quick as possible. But well, can't be helped. So maybe out of disappointment or something, Jebran just steps out of the room, snarls again, and scurries over to the next building. I would say they just look at all the buildings on the left side, so he just goes over to the next building, and he delves the depths again, and he's also looking around. I mean, they're not that. I think here's again another weak hit. Let's see what he does. 40. Ooh. Mark progress and reveal a danger. Okay. At least I get some progress here. But reveal a danger. Okay. You face the consequences of an earlier choice or approach. Huh. The question is there... What could there be? What could be the... Well, what earlier choice did I make here? There weren't any... Doesn't fit that much. What's 28 then? 28 would be the theme card. But I said even a look on the haunted. So 28. The true nature of this place is revealed. Huh. That could be interesting. What could be the true nature of this place? So he looks into another one of these buildings. And since I look at so this is the theme on the haunted card. It says the true nature of this place is revealed. And since it has to be some sort of like haunting thing here, I would think So the question is if this wouldn't be like So let's see. Let's mark this as a room of some sorts. Let's say that there is a so let's say maybe that Jebran, so he goes up to the next building, just the one on top, so to speak, or north of this empty bed chambers or quarters. So this upper building, it also has been mostly succumb to the weather and time that it has spent here. And I would say maybe that this building maybe is not that much destroyed, but it's still, so it's not hard for Jebran to get into the building itself. But whereas the other one, the roof has collapsed mostly in itself, this one seems to have been intact for a bit longer, maybe because it was a bit more in the shade, so to speak, of the hill. So so the hill has gotten off the most of the blunt of the nature here, and he could find so there seems to be some sort of like storage room or something of sorts. There's chests on shelves and barrels maybe. They seem mostly empty or whatever contents has rotten away from time and nature, of course. But what's mostly interesting here that he could find a body, a skeleton that is on the floor there. And I would say that the skeleton is still wearing the remains of some sort of clothes on it, and the clothes itself are robes where he could see so they are embroidered with embroidered with embroidered with some weird symbols. So, or at least where he could still see the where the time and the rotting process didn't fully right. It's just like scraps of thingy, and he could see that there's maybe like, I would even say that they're maybe embroidered in with gold, so that would allow it for it being to survive for a longer amount of time. And I would say that these symbols, they bear resemblance to the symbols that they have encountered on the island. That they've encountered on the island, in this island glade before Lost Crag. So now it is like fits together maybe a bit. So there's this, and this would even make sense because Thornfields is maybe like 2 days travel from Lost Crag, so it might have been that, and then the Design Glade is an additional day, so it's maybe within reach, so to speak, of this keep. So there seems to be some sort of connection to this. I don't know exactly what these symbols mean, but they couldn't be any good. But it seems to be connected to whatever happened on the island. So it, and maybe also what is connected to whatever made these beasts and creatures mad with this iron blood or iron crystals that protruded from there. So there might have been some sort of cult or some sorcery, magic, wizardry that has gone off here, and so maybe this guy was in the process of maybe gathering something from this storehouse and somehow died long time ago, and it seems to be connected to the obelisk in the island glade. So this makes maybe sense. So Jebran sees the skeleton on the floor, and he sees the symbols that are embroidered into this cloak robe thingy here, that they find, and immediately like taking a step back. And as Katania is coming from the other building to see what Jebran is doing, he like holds her back and points at the symbols, and he doesn't. As I said, he recognizes the symbols, not in a sense of he recognizes what it means, but he's seen them around. So maybe some of these have been in the past like used as charm or as sort of blessing of some sorts. So remnants of these symbols are still used today to like mark good fortune or safety or something like that on boats or on houses when they get made. So to say okay, good voyages or good fortune to this house or to this boat. And so they just paint these symbols on. They don't know exactly what their meaning is. It just has to get passed on from generation to generation as some sort of like, yeah, we paint that on like some form of superstition, some sort of form of innate ritual, maybe religious thing a year to just say, okay, this is something we just do in order to please the gods or in order to mark this vessel or this house for the gods to bring upon this good fortune or these good voyages or whatever onto this boat or house. But they don't know their meaning itself. And Jebran, as he is this sailor type, where he has traveled in the past for in the Iron Lands for a long time, he would know, or he has seen many of these symbols along his travels, and so he would know so he would recognize the symbols. That's what I'm getting at. So he recognizes the symbols, but he seems to be that these symbols are intermixed with other symbols, and maybe even I would even say that even on the chests in the storage or on the shelves, there's like stone plates with more of these symbols. So in a sense of like inventory to say whatever is stored here, there's more of these symbols, and so you could see some more. But these symbols are not just one lone symbol as they would have been in the past, or when they do this good luck charm, this good fortune charm. There's like a string of these symbols, which more looks like some form of written language or written words. So it seems that there's some sort of that these symbols have deeper meaning. There's maybe some form of old language. That they don't understand anymore. And sensing from whatever has going on in the glades, it doesn't seem to be that this is that there isn't like any it doesn't sound good, then maybe it has some form of like sinister nature. But whatever has gone on here, it has killed these people of old, and I mean the skeleton is like really old. I mean it has uh, yeah, it's a really old skeleton. So, and the rope mostly has has lived over a long period of time because it has this metal in it. It's a wonder that nobody has already, like, I mean, I don't know if they would um, recognize this as gold specifically, but it seems very odd for. I mean, it seems. I mean, it's kind of like hard metal, but it's if they form it into like um, filaments where they could use it as to embroider something. I mean, it's already some form of very high metallurgy, which maybe could explain this sort of magic. And this is Jebran is not feeling that well. He recognized this. That's whatever has gone on here. He links it to the obelisks, and he isn't very happy, and so that's why he is like pushing back or holding back Katania from entering this room or this building, and he expresses his concern to her and saying, "I don't have a good feeling about this place. We should find what we can um, on the missing children as quickly as possible, or just get out of here." It doesn't seem, and just tell the villagers, well, like make a um, big circle around this thing, and maybe even like re-wall it off or something, or maybe even relocate the whole village in itself. That thing just spells way worse thing, or maybe like put up warriors or like guards. This thing isn't that great, and if he is thinking again back into the iron to this to the glades on the island, if this happens here as well, well, there truly be in a really bad thing here. This doesn't look that good, and he wouldn't know what to do anyway. And I would say even like um, as Catania is nearing the building is nearing the skeleton, he hears more, or he hears another whisper in her head. So she is connected to. So she senses more of. So she senses spirits, just because she is linked to a spirit in her dagger, in her knife. So she is linked to the spirit world a bit more, and she can hear the whispers, or she can hear a whisper, an additional whisper in this place here. And as she approaches, it gets this whisper gets a little louder. So there's a coming a bit through, and she directly, not only because Jebran is holding her back, she's like by herself instinctively like retracting quickly and taking 2-3 steps back, just empowered or overpowered by this whisper, and she's holding her head in agony. And so Jebran isn't really happy. It's just because he can sense or he can see that Katania herself seems to be sort of taken aback by whatever is here. So he's definitely not happy what's going on here, and he is I think at this point he is pressed to move on. He says, okay, let's get this on as quickly as possible. Let's have a look at the other buildings as fast as we can. If we can't find anything, we can't find anything. He's maybe even happy to not receive any money, or just to say, or maybe just to lie to the people and say, yeah, well, your kids are dead, and go nowhere near there. It seems to be like haunted up the wazoo or whatever. Maybe don't even get any reward, but he would be happy nonetheless, just to get away from here. He would fight rather 1,000 wolves by himself if it doesn't have to cope with whatever is in here. So he's really uncomfortable at this point. And even seeing like Katania, and he sees that he knows when Katania has this kind of effect, where she's like shrugging away and holding her head and maybe shaking her head. He knows, okay, something is really bad here. And the last time she did this, there were like these husks chasing them away from the island. So he doesn't want to repeat that, especially since probably an escape from here is a bit harder to do, because again they have to go over the breach where they entered. So it's maybe a bit harder to just like run to the beach onto the boat and shove off the boat. So he's not that comfortable anymore. So he goes over to the other buildings on the other side of the road. But he wants to expedite this. So he goes on with a bit of a more faster pace here. So he is throwing caution against the wind, which may or may not be the best thing to do, but he just wants to go ahead and do this quickly. So he does this now with haste. So he rolls an edge, and as expected, he misses. So he quickly goes over to the other building, without looking ahead or checking the ground for signs or whatever. I checked the thing on it, and again it is the haunted one, because I rolled a 6. Unsettling sounds or foreboding signs. Okay. This gets more and more interesting. What could this be? So, So he goes over to the other building directly on the other side of where he just left off. And again, this building is also very well collapsed. There is not much there's not much to glean of what its purpose it was before. But what you could see, there's like where the bricks and maybe even the beams of the roof have collapsed into the building. And there's like a lot of rubble. So the building has collapsed in itself very, very, very much. But he could see from under the building or from under all the rubble, I would say like a dozen, if not more, skeletons. And so he could see here, yeah, whatever has gone on here, whatever has, so there must have been something very odd going on here. There is like skeletons scattered all over here, and there's maybe like more of these stone plates on the floor, with these strange symbols. So whatever has gone on here has also like, so it seems to have been gone off from this central building. So there's like, yeah, so it doesn't bode well whatever is in here. And Katania is as she's backing away from the other building and following Jebran, is now like completely overwhelmed from that building. Just as she approaches it, she hears screams and wailing from all these dead people and bodies in here. And they're just screaming at her. That you can hear their screams in her head, and they're very familiar or very similar to the ones that she encountered on the island Glaive. Island Glade. So it seems to be whatever there was on the island Glade, it seems to have some form of connection to here, definitely now. And she's now, and she shrugs back to the central road, and she's holding her head, and she's telling Jebran that she wants to get out of here. She doesn't feel that well. There's like, she can sense the spirits here. She can sense the spirits, and she also tells him that it is similar to what she has encountered or heard on the island, and it's hard for her to concentrate because of that. And Jebran definitely isn't happy about what he what has happened here, and it just says, okay, just for the heck of it, I checked the other building as well, and then we'll probably just get out of here. I don't like it. Whatever goes on here, and again he presses on to the next building with haste. There's another weak hit here, or there is a weak hit here. The other one wasn't a weak hit; it was a miss. 77. Ooh, take both mark progress and find an opportunity. Okay. Find opportunity. I would say he takes some momentum here because of the opportunity. And I would say he finds the missing children here, the missing kids. And they seem to be, he definitely finds them here. So he finds the missing kids here. They seem to be in the last building. So, well, if you had checked that one first, it would have been much better. But I mean, you're always the wiser in the end. So, but what he could just see here, the kids here, they're dead, and he can see that they're just collapsed onto the ground, there's like I don't know, like 2-3 kids, at least the kids that they were searching for, and they, as I said, they're dead, but you could see that maybe some sort of wild animal has gotten hold of him. There's like he can see some bite marks on them, where maybe a wild animal has tried to eat it. He doesn't know if it's necessarily the cause of the death here, but what he could see from the wound, or there's like a puddle of blood, of congealed blood on the floor. So it doesn't seem to be so it maybe has like a day. I think it maybe day and a half. When they lied here, so there's much of a decomposition here. But what you could already see, there's like small crystals, small iron crystals that have formed in the puddle of blood. So he doesn't know. Well, and again, these are similar to the ones that he saw. So he's definitely not happy at all. What he sees here, and he said, okay, he at least sees, okay, the kids are dead, we can't do anything here. It's probably best to just get out of here. There is no reason to linger on here much longer. So I would say at least this is progress. in the WoW. So he says it's probably not yeah, this is just it's not good. I mean, it's that he's just not really happy here. So I would say he just wants to get out of here. So I also roll like to see if they locate. So I make a progress move here. So locate your objective, which there's a strong hit here, which makes absolute sense. He gets another momentum, 2+6 here. I could do another move here. I don't think I want to make another move here. Maybe he tries to find out maybe what happens exactly to the kids, although he knows I'm probably not. I will probably not find any real things here, but maybe there's something. But there is a weak hit. The information complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. And get another momentum, so it's +7 here. Yeah, as I said, he just sees these crystals in the blood that have been formed just from the day, and he thinks so. Either these kids, did this whatever this what attacked them killed the kids, and that's why there's also like this the crystals in the blood, or the kids just died from whatever is around here, and the crystals just has begun forming in this fresh blood, so to speak. And he fears that whatever happened here, was probably so there's maybe some sort of yeah, I don't know. So there's this whatever has taken hold of them here. So there might be that, or whatever killed the other people that he saw in the other buildings. That's what killed also the kids. There's something around here, and he isn't that keen of finding out to be sure. So he rather go now and leave whatever is be here. He maybe like takes, I don't know, a piece of cloth from the kids just to show the villagers that he found them. But there isn't probably any hope, so to speak. So I would say this is another progress here on my Wrathful Haunt. Wow. So I've found the place. I've found out what this place or that this place isn't that great, and I found the kids. So I would say this is more or less in line of the WoW here. How I made progress on it. But other than that, Jebran wants to get out of here. So he is grabbing Katania, that is still overwhelmed by all the voices, by her hand, and says, okay, we're getting out of here. And I would say that this is a good place here to stop here and see in the next episode if they make it out, and how they will conclude their quests with the villagers, to see what if what they say or what they could do, or say tell them what to do next of this place of the Underkeep of Spectres. So hear us in the next episode.